Hey, Whippersnappers, this is Tortimer the Grey. Welcome back to another very exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Little Cup Tortiment. Today, we bring you another episode of Elite 8 battles. Finally have some more Elite 8 battles to show you guys. And today we have the Titans of Scadharel going up against Klungar in an epic clash of battles. And they are fighting for the right to move into the Final Four and take on Nougat. So their opponent has already been decided. Nougat is who the winner of this set of battles will be taking on. So let's see what this second to last set of Elite 8 battles has in store for us, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty guys, battle number 1 starts off with Klungar leading off with his Mumbo Jumbo, his Pawniard, as Scad leads off with Cinnabar, her Voltorb. Voltorb's going to use the taunt to keep the rocks from coming up and then Volt Switch on out into Rocky, and Rocky's going to take our knockoff, losing the Eviolite in the process, and Mumbo Jumbo's going to switch on out, bringing Kazooie in to take a Drain Punch from Rocky there. Doesn't do too much damage there considering, and then Rocky's going to switch out, bringing in Frostmourne, the Honedge, and Kazooie's going to throw up the Earthquake, finishing off the Honedge. So that leaves Scad to bring in Java, her Porygon, and Porygon is going to evade the Stone Edge and throw up the Ice Beam, finishing off Kazooie. Kazooie goes down and Banjo switches in. Java switches out in favor of Rocky. Rocky going to take that Drain Punch, but actually going to do a lot more damage than I would have expected, although Rocky did lose its Eviolite earlier on in the battle. The Drain Punch going to help Rocky heal up a little bit, and then we're just going to have a battle of Drain Punches going here, which it looks like Banjo might win, but loses its own Eviolite there, and Rocky just looking to take some damage with it to the grave, and leaves Banjo in the yellow as he U-turns out into Bottles. Now Bottles is going to throw up the Arena Trap, trapping the Porygon. Porygon likely going to throw up the Ice Beam here. Yep, connecting with Bottles and finishing off Bottles. Bottles getting that Porygon under half though, at which point Banjo comes back in up against Florence. Florence going to take a Drain Punch, which is going to heal Banjo up to max, and activate Florence's Berry Juice, which is going to get it back up as well. The knockoff is going to land, not do a ton given that it's already used its Berry Juice, but the Drain Punch on the next turn is going to be a crit and finish off Florence. Godiva then going to switch in Earthquake Banjo. Banjo going to go down, and Klungar is going to then switch into Cheeto, and Cheeto's going to go up against Lava, who's going to trace the skill link. The Icicle Spear landing, getting a crit, and going to be enough to finish off the Porygon. Scad then switches back into Cinnabar, who's got its Balloon. Gonna go up with the Volt Switch against Brentilda, switching out the Spritzee, taking that pretty well, as Godiva then switches in, throws up the Stealth Rocks, and gonna take a Moonblast, which is gonna lower his special attack, which isn't probably a huge deal for the Drillbur. Drillbur then going to take another Moonblast, unfortunately, though, and go down. Leaving Scad with just Cinnabar in battle number 1. Going to throw up that Volt Switch, which is going to finish off Brentilda, and since it's Scad's last Pokemon, gets to stay in here. So, going to throw up the Volt Switch again on the Mumbo Jumbo. Mumbo Jumbo is going to use the knockoff, which is going to one-shot, critical hit one-shot. I feel Voltorbs are kind of squishy, but I've got to imagine that crit probably mattered, though I think Klungar had enough Pokemon to probably take battle number 1 anyway, so in the end probably doesn't affect the outcome too much, but probably on the one-hit KO probably mattered. But yeah, so that's battle number 1. Klungar takes battle number 1. Let's see what happens in battle number 2, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty guys, battle number 2 starts off with Klungar leading with Mumbo Jumbo, and Scad deciding to lead with Godiva this time. Godiva's taking a hard knockoff there, gonna lose Life Orb, but get the Stealth Rocks up, so now, and then Mumbo Jumbo gets the rocks up, which he wasn't able to do last time, and gonna make it a bit more of an even field here. Mumbo Jumbo then switches out, bringing in Kazooie. Rocky sets up the Bulk Up and then the Drain Punch, healing back up, and then finishing off Kazooie with a Drain Punch, Mach Punch combo there. Brentilda then going to switch in and take some rocks damage, get knocked off, which is not very effective, but at least going to get rid of the Eviolite there, and Rocky going to be able to withstand the Moonblast to get another set of Drain Punches off before the Moonblast finally connects and finishes off Rocky there. At which point Java the Porygon comes back in and going to throw up a Tri-Attack against Brentilda. Not enough to kill, and going to set up the Wish and Protect, so Brentilda is going to get a little bit of health back here and get it above half. Java's then going to throw up the Thunder Wave, and as Bruntilda sets up more wishes, and the Ice Beam's going to land as the Moonblast lands, both doing about the same amount of damage as Bruntilda heals back up thanks to the Wish. The Tri-Attack again landing, but unfortunately Porygon not able to do a whole lot here in terms of actually effectively chipping away with the Wish going on, so Scad's going to use the Recover and switch on out, bringing in Frostmourne. Frostmourne's going to go up against Bottles here, going to be Arena Trapped, and the Iron Head going to finish off Bottles in one hit, so not going to go down to an Earthquake this time like Frostmourne did last time. At which point Banjo's going to come in. I'm assuming Bottles comes in, or Godiva comes in as Death Fodder, and Banjo's going to finish off Godiva. Now they're down 2-2, and 4 Pokemon each remaining. Cinnabar switching out into Florence. Florence getting knocked off, losing that Berry Juice, and then going to get Drain Punched here to heal Banjo back up and finish off the Chinchou. Frostmourne then switches in and going to take a hard knock on from the Banjo, losing its Berry Juice in the process. Throws up that Iron Head, which does decent damage, but not going to be enough to finish off Banjo, even with the Shadow Sneak tacked on there just before going down, at which point Cinnabar switches in. Going to throw up the Volt Switch there, get Banjo very close, but unfortunately for Scad, not going to finish off Banjo either. This thing is just bulky as all get out. At which point the Drain Punch is going to land on Java, and Java is going to take another one and go down, healing Banjo back up over half, leaving Scad once again just with Cinnabar, and going to throw up the Foul Play, which is going to be resisted, take a knockoff there, which is going to get rid of the Balloon, but is going to get Paralysis on Banjo, and Scad just trying anything she can to try and get some decent damage going there, and then finishes off with the Volt Switch, at which point Mumbo Jumbo comes in, takes some Rocks damage, throws up the Sucker Punch, gets paralyzed, but unfortunately Scad's last Pokemon goes down, which leaves Klungar to claim victory in 2 battles. Klungar was kind of in disbelief when he sent me the links. He's like, I did not expect this to happen, but Scad goes down in 2 battles, 2 very close battles, in terms of, RNG could have gone one way or the other and really, switched this in either favor. So, but that is going to move Klungar into the final 4 to take on Nougat. And so Klungar moves on in 2 battles, best 2 out of 3 moves on into the final 4. And Scad is then going to move into the consolation bracket, which, let's see, so Scad is 11, and that's going to move Scad up into the consolation bracket to take on Celine Eleanor. So Celine's already moved up 1 round in the bracket and now is slated to take on Scad. So there we go, guys. We've got some new battle potentials up. So Nougat and Klungar can try and meet up and get their battles going. Celine and Scad can meet up and get their battles going. Myself and the Espresso Cat can do some battles. I didn't want to have all me and Espresso Cat battles going up, but since we've had one in the middle, maybe E-Cat and I will attempt to do our battles as well. Still a lot of battles that we can do, guys. I need to hear from you guys. If somebody in the consolation bracket here, so we see David Kahn versus Codeman, I'm going to start doing some commenting and stuff, trying to track you guys down, because I don't know if you guys just aren't watching and you're just not aware, but we need to get this thing moving. So, David Kahn and Codeman, I want to try and ping you guys even before this episode comes up, potentially, but let me know where you guys are at. If you guys can't come to a consensus at this point, we're going to flip a coin and move on from there. Same with GBL4 Turtles and Fabe Ironstone. Figure out a time to schedule and do some battles, or we'll just flip a coin and move on. In the consolation bracket, at least, that's easy, because, we can flip a coin and then, the other person doesn't have to worry about battling anymore. The problem arises in the tournament bracket. If we go back to that briefly, we do have Red Wolf, NJW, and Epic Big Nick, who have still yet to schedule bracket time, so by the next episode, I will have flipped a coin on that, I imagine. I've given them one last chance to kind of get it together, but chances are we'll end up flipping a coin there. The problem there is that they've been completely incapable or unable to find a time to get together, and so we'll flip a coin and one of them will move on, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we won't have the same issue with one or both of those guys in either the Final 4 or in the consolation bracket. So we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully, Epic Big Nick's been able to do 2 battles already up to this point, and Red Wolf has done a battle previously, so hopefully it's just these 2 guys' schedules are completely incompatible, and so a bad matchup there, but hopefully if we can break that stalemate, we can get things moving along on both their ends. But yeah, so Nougat versus Klungar can start going. Red Wolf NJW versus Big Nick can hopefully start going. And then we have David Kahn versus Codeman, GBL4 Turtles versus Ironstone or Fabe, and Celine Eleanor versus Scad, and me versus ECAT. A lot of battles still to do, guys. Make sure you're getting those in. I'm going to try and touch base personally with each and every competitor who we're still waiting on things, figure out what's going on. Scad commented last time she felt like she was being called out. I'm not like angry. We need to move it on. I'm making some changes to my channel. This was supposed to be a fun, quick little tournament, and I'm taking notes for if we do something like this next time. We definitely won't be doing double elimination again. That's just too much hassle. And we'll probably be cutting, the tournament size, making it an even 16, and just start there. Because I think this thing started to drag on, and I think it's my fault as much as anybody's that this thing is dragging on, and so people are losing track of the series, no longer interested in participating, sort of thing. And so if we had been able to hit this thing, strike while the iron was hot, things might have moved along a lot quicker. So I don't blame anybody. Schedules are changing, summer's coming to an end for some people, etc. So, at the very least, just let me know where you guys are at. Because I haven't really heard communication from anybody or seen anybody in the Discord or in the comments attempting to even connect with each other. So, I've got to assume you guys are just not watching episodes anymore, which would be a little bit of a shame if even the people who are participating in the tournament are no longer watching tournament episodes. Views aren't that bad on the series compared to what I normally get for Pokemon stuff, so I don't know what to take that to mean. But just give it. I'm not angry. I'm not trying to call anybody out. But I'm trying to make some changes to my channel, and I'd like to do some more subscriber engagement stuff, but I can't do anything. I can't just cancel this series. I want to see it through to the end, but we just have to move on. So you guys should know. Check the Google Doc if you need to, but you guys should pretty much know where you stand at this point, because it's been pretty much the same for the last couple of weeks. So contact your people, whether in the comments or in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, I know there's a couple of you who have not. Go ahead and do so. It's a free, easy thing. Watch the first episode again if you need to, and you'll find it there. The details on how to do that. Well, I think it's episode 0.5 technically, but also linked down in the description down below. If you just click the link to the Discord there, it'll take you to the website, and you can quick register and get everything all set up. It's free, easy to use. You don't even have to download anything. You can use it in the browser. But join that if you're having difficulty getting in touch with your people. That might be a part of the reason why. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Gray, and you guys have been great. Make sure to leave those likes, comments, and subscriptions for me, guys, and I'll see you all back here next time. Alrighty, guys, have a good one.